Well, there's always something going on in the world of entertainment, and on Thursdays, we love to get caught up with the latest from Hollywood with the Ralphie Report.
That's right. Once again, joining us is Ralphie from 97 BHT. Ralphie, good to see you again.
Great to be here, and even more excited. Monica, I don't know if you saw on your Facebook earlier this week, I left a comment about you guys never having, like, my favorite type of food when I'm here.
Yes.
Well,
and I partook as well, for full disclosure, in Mafalda's. That super stout that they have over there is amazing.
It's just too handy sitting out on the counter.
Exactly.
So
I know.
yeah, we did not wait.
I actually warned you. I warned you in a good way. I said, you got it. When you're coming on today, you're going to get some good food.
And you were right. So thank you for coming through.
Yeah,
appreciate
no
that.
problem. So hey, first on the docket, we're talking about the band, the Fray.
Yes, Isaac Slade, the frontman for the Fray, told me earlier this week on the Ralphie radio show that the band's third studio album, Scars and Stories, is due out in February of 2012. It's complete. It's in the can. But recording this third album was tough for the band because Isaac admitted to me on the Ralphie radio show they thought their last album, their self-titled LP that they dropped in 2009, perhaps embodied a little bit of what we call in the music industry the sophomore slump. Take a listen.
Maybe a pressure to do How to Save a Life #2, or to not really own up to who we actually are. There's a little bit of I think, an embarrassment that we're like so mainstream, commercial, on TV shows and stuff, and all of our friends are like indie rock bands.
Which is interesting for Isaac to say that, because usually you want the TV placement, usually you want the radio spins.
Yeah.
But in Isaac's case, he was admitted almost a little embarrassed. But nonetheless, the first single from that album, Heartbeat, available on iTunes now.
Now, speaking of new albums, the lead singer of the Fall Out Boy is going solo, is that right?
Yes, he's gone solo, Patrick Stump. And Monica, it was great when you talked earlier about the former Fall Out Boy frontman. Fall Out Boy hasn't broken up yet. They're on a little bit of a break. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Joe and Andy formed the Damn Things, and Pete Wentz has his project Black Cards as well. But Patrick Stump this past Tuesday released his solo album, Soul Punk. And yes, even Patrick knows he could say it until he's blue in the face, but people are still going to think that Fall Out Boy is broken up. Actions speak louder than words. Take a listen to this clip from Patrick and I sitting down earlier this summer in Philadelphia.
Honestly, there's a lot of put your money where your mouth is, because it's like, we can talk about it all we want, but until Fall Out Boy puts out another record, that's all talk. Until we see what my record does, that's all talk. Right. So I'm stating my intentions, at least.
Soul Punk, again, out in stores right now.
Love his voice, too. He's such a great, powerful voice.
Yes, and again, if you are expecting a Fall Out Boy album with Patrick Stump's solo LP, Soul Punk, you're not going to get that. I purchased it. It's very, very good, but it's not Fall Out Boy. It's definitely in its own lane.
Interesting. Hey, the other day we talked about former Hannah Montana star Mitchel Musso and his DUI. You actually talked to him last year, and he kind of told you something interesting, I guess.
I know. Hindsight's always 20/20, and it's interesting how these celebrities' words sometimes come back to bite them, even if it's maybe a year later. Last November, of course, you know him as Oliver from Hannah Montana, Mitchel Musso, called into the Ralphie radio show. And I found it kind of interesting that Mitchel's been able for so long to keep his name off of TMZ. And so I asked him last November how he was able to do that. Take a listen to his response.
That's a tough question. I think they realize that, I'm just not one to be messed with, because am I saying that I'm the best role model in the world? Hell no, and I would never say that. But I think I keep a clean enough image I'm so boring of a person that I don't really have anything to talk about to TMZ. You know what I mean? Yeah,
right.
I do.
Well, so much for that, Mitchel. Of course, he was picked up on Sunday morning in Burbank, California, allegedly blew over the .08 legal limit for his breathalyzer test, drinking and driving. Mitchel Musso is only 20 years old. Well, drinking and driving, not something to be messed with.
And let's hope it's only a one-time bump. Great stuff, Ralphie. He's from 97 BHT. You can catch him each weeknight from 7 to midnight. Good to see you again.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ralphie.